This film is crap. This film is rubbish. This movie is the biggest load of nonsense I have ever seen. That is an hour and a half of my life that I will never be getting back again. Are comments uttered by my wife after watching the Barbie movie. But has she hit the nail on the head, or is she missing the point? Let's find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my here review for the new Barbie movie. Yes, I have seen Barbie. I don't know why, but I have seen it. This film here, Barbie, runs for 1 hour and 54 minutes with a 12A rating, and it is brought to us directed by Greta Gerwig and written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. The film stars Margot Robbie in the title role. Ryan Gosling joins proceedings as Ken, one of multiple Kens. There's Kate McKinnon as another version of Barbie. There's loads of versions of Barbie. Ncuti Gatwa, the new Doctor Who, he's in it, if you're interested to see what he's like as an actor. Kingsley Ben-Adir is in it. He's currently in Secret Invasion as the main bad guy. We've got Will Ferrell as the CEO of Kenner Toys. And we've got John Cena popping up in a couple of cameo appearances. So what can go wrong with all this, you know, well, a few good cast members there. Yeah, so this film here, Barbie, what's it about? So we start off and we're introduced to Barbie Land, where all the Barbies live and Kens live, and Barbies, you know, they're everything. They've got every role in Barbie Land, obviously, like the dolls. You've got, you know, President Barbie, you've got Dr. Barbie, you've got everything is done by Barbie. The men, the Kens, they're just eye candy. That's what they are there. But Barbie herself, Margot Robbie, who's your sort of standard Barbie that you think of, the slim, blonde, long hair, that sort of Barbie, she starts having an existential crisis. She starts questioning life and she starts having thoughts about death and things like this, and it starts affecting her physically, in her physical appearance, in her feet, her legs getting, you know, cellulite and all this sort of a thing, and we come to find out that she can actually leave Barbie world and go to the real world, and she's got to go and confront the young girl that is her owner, essentially, the young girl that plays with her. So she goes off on this adventure, leaving Barbie Land. Ken tags along, unbeknownst to Barbie, and when they're there, Ken starts to see what the real world is like, that men kind of lead the way, the men are in charge of everything and all this sort of a thing, and he goes back to Barbie Land. He takes that sort of rhetoric back with him and implements certain changes and kind of, in a sense, brainwashes the other Kens into this kind of thing. Barbie does find the girl and the mother, but it's actually the mother who's the one who's having the faults that Barbie's connected to, because the mother is lost away with her daughter and needs to reconnect, and she's trying to reconnect through the toys. They go back. The hierarchy in Barbie Land has been taken over. You've got the CEO of Kenner Toys chasing down. He wants Barbie. He wants Barbie back into Barbie Land. He chases them into Barbie Land. The hierarchy's changed. Men are in control. Men are bad. This sort of a thing. Blah, blah, blah. This is the basis of the film. Barbie's going through this existential crisis, right? And we're getting hammered in the head with nonsense about patriarchy and, you know, men and all this sort of a thing. You know, the messages are clear within this film, right? So there's no mistaking that. And you can't watch it without not, you know, rolling your eyes every time that they mention patriarchy and men and this sort of thing. It's thrown at you every 10 minutes or so, and you know, and the women have got to usurp the men by, you know, the Barbies got to usurp the Kens and all this sort of nonsense going on until at the end, you know, there's this more of a balance, shall we say, in Barbie land. And yeah, so she said to me, my wife, she said, you can't have enjoyed this film. You can't have liked what, you know, you can't have enjoyed it. And I said to her, okay, well, we've got to break it down, haven't we? I can't just say this movie is utter crap and this is 90 minutes of my life. And it's an hour and 54 minutes anyway, so you're wrong. You're wrong. Yeah. You're saying 90 minutes, hour and 54 minutes. So get that right first anyway, woman. No, I didn't say that to her. I'd get a slap if I said that to her. But anyway, so this film here, what, you know, so it's got this messaging that is paramount to it, that is clear to it, that is a very sort of wokish agenda. I don't really want to use the word woke. I hate that word, but yeah, it's there. It's there in that film. So let's take that and let's toss that aside, right, and focus on the film itself. What's good about this movie? Okay, Margot Robbie, she's very good in the film. She's very good, right? And her character does go on a fantastic journey throughout it, through her existential crisis, coming to understand it, and where she ends up at the end of the film, the decisions that she makes and the changes that occur to her character through the film. It's not only visual, aesthetic change to her, it's, you know, in the character, in her emotions, in her interactions with other people in this as well. That's very good. Ryan Gosling, he's having a hell of a lot of fun in this movie as Ken. He's got a couple of dance numbers that are pretty damn good. He's, you know, he's hamming it up, shall we say. He's quite enjoyable to watch. I don't like him with his blonde hair or that, but there we go. Kate McKinnon, you know, Will Ferrell, he's there to help proceedings along. He's kind of wasted, underutilised. Although he's there, he's not as utilised as much as he could have been. Now, for me, I was watching the film and I was getting Toy Story in my mind for a minute. I was getting. Yeah, I'm talking about Andy growing up and getting rid of his toys. There's that sort of element coming into play. The Lego movie, the real world coming in with a toy world, that sort of things at play in it. There's a multitude of feelings I got of other movies being utilised. The set design for Barbie World was fantastic, right? It was like a toy. It was like real people playing on a toy set. Right, a life-size toy set. The pastel colours are there. You know, everything is. It looks like the toys are there at full size. Do you know what I mean? The car. It all looked great. You know, the emotion is there. It's got an emotional core to the character of Barbie and what happens to her through it. But the bad is this messaging that's just been rammed down your throat the whole way through the film. You know, I'm the enemy. I'm enemy number one. I'm a middle-aged white male, right? I am the enemy to everything. That's what this film is. It says that's what we are. But yeah, so I've got very mixed feelings on this movie. There's elements of it that I enjoyed. There's elements I liked, and there's other elements that I didn't. I think it pacing is a bit off. I think for an hour and 54 minutes, it's probably a tad long, and it gets a tad stretched in places. I didn't really like that. But yeah, so very, very mixed feelings. I think this is a film that, honestly, I need to give a second watch to. And I don't mean straight away, I mean somewhere down the line to finalise my decision on it. This is going to be a very divisive film for people. Especially in the sort of the era that we are with movies and society and that sort of thing, and the messaging. Like I said, the messaging is clear in this film, and I don't like that. I don't like that messaging. I hate it. I hate it with a vengeance, right? But I'm trying to sort of look at this as a movie and try and not really let that overpower proceedings, if that makes sense, and try and give you my thoughts on it as a film and not based around solely that. For me, middle of the road movie. Yeah. Is it a film that I'd have in the collection? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think maybe, you know, like I said, I will give it a second viewing to finalise my thoughts at some point, but I've got a horrible feeling that it will come away as being sort of one of those films that I'd only ever give a one-time watch to, but in this case it'd be a two-time watch to get those thoughts. But you never know, on the second viewing I could go completely other way and think, bloody hell, that's fantastic. These stranger things have happened. But yeah, there's a certain maturity to the story as well, to elements of it, but young children would be able to go and take them to see it, and they wouldn't latch on to those elements to it, but you know, which is fine for the adult element who's just seeing it, but the younger element, there's enough for them going on that they would just sit there and enjoy and take in what they're taking and get out of it. It's visually, it's in Barbie land, it's very appealing, shall we say. But there we go, there's my review, there's my talk about Barbie. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts down below. I'd be curious, I'd be interested, because I mean, I tend to stay away from a lot of the rhetoric about films, and it isn't until after I've seen the film that I you know, I have a look and I formulate my opinion, and then I have a look at like the score, and I can't believe that on, you know, the scoring for this film is quite damn good. I mean, overall on IMDb, I think it's about 7.7. Rotten Tomatoes, I do look at Rotten Tomatoes, come on now, and they're up in the 90s from both critics and audiences. So the film must be doing something right for people. I don't know what people, but there we go. But then on the other hand, I have seen headlines about, you know, the man bashing, shall we say, that this film partakes in, but I haven't looked at any of that stuff in depth. But yes, it's certainly there in the movie, so if that's not for you, avoid all costs. So this is AJ again, thank you for watching. Again, comments, let me know, hit the subscribe button, come join the channel, why not, and we'll talk film. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.